we got backed up and the foam blew off and it blew all the steps up and I fell down inside the hole. I was drilling an 18-inch diameter hole and I fell down inside the hole.
Was it still drilling?
It was still drilling. Grabbed onto the drill pipe and was spinning around in a circle.
Oh my God.
As I'm sitting there about my entire body's underneath the ground, but I'm 2 foot sticking up with my head up out of it and I'm turning around in circles, relying on, laborers or something to go over there and go push that button,
Hit that. See that emergency stop one?
Wow.
I mean, because the alternative was like you could have gone down a deep hole, right?
I would have died.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Damn, Sean already coughing, dude?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Welcome back to another episode of the Lambo and Leroy Show. We're back, man. We've been off a couple of weeks. Sean's been crazy busy. Mary House is open. Mm-hmm. Gibson's been insane. Yeah. The pyramid has been awesome. I've been busy. It's been good, man. You've been keeping it busy?
I've been trying, like we were just saying. I mean, the only thing I managed to be late to at all in life is this podcast. So I apologize.
You're good, dude. We're here. We're making it happen.
Traffic sucks.
Yeah, blame on traffic, always.
But, it's all worth it because we have an awesome guest today.
Who we got?
And Dave Mathews. You guys might have heard of Dave Mathews before,
He's got a band. He's a band, right?
Well, kind of.
That's
right?
only the second time today.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not that Dave Mathews, but equally as cool and actually probably way cooler because I'm not a big fan of Dave Mathews really at all. But I'm a fan of this Dave Mathews.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's true. Who is really?
Funny story. The very first concert I ever went to was a Dave Mathews concert.
No
I fell
way.
asleep halfway through it and said, okay, I'm not doing this ever again. That's not happening. But Dave Mathews, we met because we have a similar passions of the lake and sand cars, off-road, and we all seem to kind of, end up in the same places because of our passions and everything, drive us to there. But behind all those passions is like hard work, a business, there's stress, ups and downs all around. And his business is, to me, unique actually I thought it was unique. I thought it was kind of like something only done like in Texas, back east.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was a business for it. And he drills.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you think drill, it's not like the Cobalt hand drill, drilling some, some studs in the wall or some shit like that. I mean, like you're drilling into the earth. And I mean, I've always wondered, if you drill too far, like the movies, you get some weird creatures or shit climbing out of that stuff.
That's like, what's down there?
Yeah, which is it's almost kind of like equally, we probably know more about what's in space than we do what's below us, but make the intro, man. Introduce your company, kind of what it is, what you do, but then we're going to stop you on that and we want to just kind of, reverse it back into history and just kind of see where it all started and how you got into the, off-road, the boats, everything, and how it all kind of aligns with the business.
Yeah, well, I'm Dave Mathews, not
we
from
established
the band.
that.
Not from the band. My company is Fain Drilling and Pump Company. We've been in Southern California for 57 years or something like that.
Awesome.
My grandfather started it. And that's what we do. We drill holes in the ground, but it's mostly water wells, but we do monitoring wells and cathodic protection, a bunch of stuff like that we may or may not get into. But it's pretty much a archaic form of working, and a lot of people don't know about it, but that's what we do. We pull water out of the ground.
See, and that's awesome because, I think where we're at, we're all similar age and stuff. When we were going through school, it was college. And nowadays, it kind of seems like trades and specialized trades
should be doing.
Exactly.
We can't have 1,000 engineers on a job site. Someone's got to do the work.
Otherwise it costs too much, right? It never gets done.
Someone's got to do the work.
Yeah, and so the specialized trades are, I think, kind of making a comeback. We have kids similar age. My son, he's kind of going through it. He's more interested in a trade than a degree in something, which, in my opinion, is massive. And that's
I never went to college.
I know. I didn't mean either. I probably should have. Right? Yeah. My grammar kind of sucks nowadays. But, But that's rad. So how, I'm always like, how did the business start? Was it kind of like one of those things where like there was a problem, I need to solve it, and then I'm gonna solve it for my buddy, and then it just kind of grows into something? Or
yeah, so it's a little bit easier than that. I can go super deep, but my grandfather.
We have all day.
My grandfather, he was in the Army. And he came out and he was stationed in Camp Pendleton. Okay. And so he came from Arkansas. And of course, there's drilling and water wells and stuff back there. So he got out of the Army and he met my grandmother and my grandmother's parents. So his in-laws, they were in that kind of industry, the drilling industry. And so they had started it back in 1950 something or other, right? And so they started drilling. And he was working for my grandfather, his in-laws, and he got one job for a customer in the San Pasqual Valley, and he said at the time that kind of equipment was archaic, and it was very, very, very easy to run, and
is it steam powered?
almost. Yeah, it's what's called cable tool. Okay. And it's a lot of fuckery. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's a lot of fuckery for no money. Okay. But he got a project that consists of drilling 3 wells on this guy's property, and he said when you're done with it, you can have the drilling rig that he's purchased. And so that's how we started. He drilled 3 wells, got that piece of equipment. His name is Joe Fain.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
No, that's why I'm Mathews. My mom was a Mathews.
All right.
Or my mom was a Fain, sorry. But he started off like that, and then it just kind of took off from there. Nobody else in the family wanted to do anything with this company, and so here I am.
Well, and that's awesome because it's just kind of like we're all presented with opportunities, and sometimes we don't see those opportunities.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you have to just kind of have, take your blinders off and just seek them. I mean, because I'm sure a lot of people probably declined that or weren't even willing to give it a shot.
Nobody wanted to work that hard.
Yeah, that's true, though. People don't want to hustle. So did you work for your grandpa then?
Yes.
For how long did you work with him, like I guess side by side, to learn it?
I've been doing this since I was 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So pretty much away.
Yeah, we got pictures of me in the office, 2 years old.
That's amazing.
Sitting in a cooler in a diaper out in Desert Center on a drill site. I've been doing this my entire life. I mean, I wasn't working at 2 years
for sure,
old,
but still, you've been around it forever.
Yeah, I was underneath my grandfather since I was 13.
Wow, that's awesome.
Actually working.
Wow. So when did you start kind of managing things and start escalating to the ranks?
And was that a stressful beginning right there, or were you just been around it your whole life?
Dude.
It was just second nature to you.
You didn't know anything different.
I didn't know anything different. This is how hard we work. This is life. Mm-hmm. It's not a desk job. It's not easy to do.
Yeah.
My office is a revolving door of employees. They think they can do it. They can't do this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's tough work.
Now, I mean, like a drill press is a dangerous machine if not handled correctly, right? But I feel like what is the diameter of some of these drills? Because with a drill press, you're not supposed to wear gloves. It sucks your hand in, rips your arm up. I feel like these are large enough to suck like a truck into them and wrap it up.
Well, we drill anywhere from the smallest hole of 6 inches in diameter, up to 36 inches in diameter. 3 feet. It's something you can throw a dead body in.
Insane. And then
do you know that from experience? Or you're like, you got hurt on the job. I know right where you're going.
Thought about it.
And then, so how deep do you guys go?
Some of the rigs usually are hitting on average about 800 to 1,000 feet deep. We've got a rig now that can go 4,000 feet deep.
I mean, 4,000 feet deep.
That's
for you guys in
insane.
Southern California, that's almost at the top of Big Bear, the peak up there. I mean, well, not quite. That's 8,000, but it's
still that's insanely. That's so gnarly.
Going the other way.
Yeah, going down.
I mean, so being in the drilling and stuff, you're so probably jaded by it all, but are you ever nervous about what you're going to run into down there? What's going to come back up?
No. Every single hole is a completely different situation. You're just drilling through formation, drilling through earth. And so you'll encounter different situations on every single hole. And whether or not you can proceed through that or what it's going to take to proceed through that. You're dealing with pressures underneath the earth, different formations, whether your muds are doing, I mean, I'm getting too technical,
but still, I love that. Yeah.
whether your mud weights and back pressures and all that kind of stuff is working for you and how you overcome them. And pretty much you're blind the entire time.
I was going to say, like, how are you doing that? Is it based on what's coming back up around
you're just reading gauges, feeling equipment, seeing
how hard it's working,
seeing the outcome of what you're doing, and then projecting what you need to do.
So this seems like one of those trades where you like someone new comes and gets into the industry when it's spent
shit.
all the money on the best machines and the sonars and everything, and you just sit back and laugh because you're like, guys, no, that's all wrong, because it's still not telling you what you need to know.
We're cowboys. We're some of the last cowboys. You know, everybody's moving forward with technology and innovation and doing all this stuff. We're still just digging holes in the ground. Yeah. And until you get down there, you don't know what you're doing. And
now,
figure it out.
Are there gases that come up from different layers of the ground? How's that work?
Not at these depths.
Okay.
Some of the areas up in San Juan Capistrano and whatnot, you can see gases around 1,500 feet. But where we're at right now, gas is really deep.
So different areas, though. So do you guys go outside of California or only in California?
Just California.
That's awesome. So elsewhere, though, there are places that there are gases that come up at certain levels.
You can, yeah. And that's why, get into it deep again, you have BOPs, which is blow-off prevention, which is casing that's cemented in the beginning, and it has blow-off prevention. So when you do hit those excess pressures, it'll blow off and
then you're
whatnot.
like, okay.
But we don't have to deal with that here.
Nice.
Really? Now, how far are they drilling, like in the off the coast to reach oil and stuff? Is that going way deep?
Yeah, they're tens of thousands of feet deep. So they're 14,000, 15,000, 20,000 feet deep.
And they're in boats doing that, right? Because it's off the shore.
It's boats, but they're stand up.
Gotcha.
Drill rigs.
Yeah.
So like, when obviously you don't have like a 4,000 foot long drill bit that you can just travel around with, right? Like how does that process work? I mean, are they like obviously come in like on a large truck and you just stack them?
Yeah, so they're in different sections. So you'll have a drill bit and what we call collars or stabilizers, which keep the hole from deviating so that you have a straight hole. But each section will be a certain length. So we deal with 20-foot sections. So each time you drill down, it's another 20 foot, another 20 foot, another 20 foot.
Wow.
Some of the bigger rigs, they run 40s or 90s or something like that. But
wow. Now, so like, with us in exhaust, EPA, CARB, environmentalists, all those bullshit, they're...
Can I say, fuck that shit?
Yes, of course. They've probably got to play a big part in what you're doing nowadays. Like, I mean, they got to come out. I mean, do you have somebody watching your back the whole time?
Nah, they don't. It's just reporting. Reporting of your, not your emissions, but your equipment, is how old it is it compliant, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, more OSHA stuff, safety.
You can take equipment that is right now the regulation pretty much is anything that's more than 13 years old. And so if you were now in 2023, so you think 13 years ago, we're at 2010. You think crazy. A 2010 truck is old?
Yeah,
it's not really that old.
No, it's not at all.
Especially with a drilling rig. Drilling rigs last decades upon decades with upkeep and replacing motors and whatnot. And so you're ditching $1.5 million piece of equipment that you bought in 2010.
To put a DPF unit on it.
Not even to that. Like you can't even do that now. I mean, a lot of these units in 2010 aren't their capacity for their engine space and capacity, unless they're deck engines, which means the engine outside of the actual truck, there's no room for all of that crap that's inside there. And then, I mean, California's saving the world.
Of course, come on.
Now, like, fossils and dinosaurs and shit like that. I mean, like, before you drill, do you have to have someone come out and do a report?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, if we're on in sensitive areas, right now I've got a rig that's down at Sequan, the resort that's drilling, and so that's Indian-owned land, and so we have their people out there looking for artifacts and whatnot. I've got another job that's up in Lucerne. That's for a water district, and so they have what do you call them? Ecological, blah blah blah, out there clearing turtles and clearing flowers and different butterflies and
make
whatnot.
sure you don't stomp on them and kill them. And
in the meantime, we're pulling natural resources from the earth, but whatever,
because you always look sometimes like those big boulders that like I don't know, on one of those gold rush shows or something, these big boulders, they just drill a bunch of holes in it, splits in half. Sometimes I'm like, man, if you just drill deep enough and enough holes in earth, it's just going to go
split in half,
split open, right? Like, what's down there? What are some of you've been doing this your whole life. I mean, what's like a moment that stood out the most, that was just like the most wild or unexpected, or like the earth, or I don't know. What did you find down there that you didn't expect?
I mean, you don't really find anything underneath there. I mean, we're just absolutely pulverizing anything that we're drilling through. I guarantee you, up there in the Julian area, we're drilling through gold all the time. But you would never know. You're just because you're going so fast, it doesn't matter. And if you want to panic, go for it. We're trying to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Our goal is completing this job.
Nah, the only thing it's a story that I've always held with me, and I keep telling to all my guys too, and it's a safety issue and whatnot. But when I first started actually running a drilling rig, I think I was 17, 18 years old. I was on a job for a golf course, and when you're drilling through granite, which is
super hard.
Right where we're standing is a lot of alluvium, but most of San Diego, most of Southern California is granite formation. Okay. And so you got to drill through granite. And we'll drill thousands of feet through granite. But with granite, when you're drilling, you're using a drill foam. And so it's a foam that allows you to flush the hole and make all your cuttings lighter, make the water lighter, everything that you're blowing out of the hole. Cool. And we were drilling a big diameter hole, and I got foamed up, got stuck. I got stuck in the hole, and I was sitting on the back of the platform. Which is a deck that sits around the sides of the rig. Kind
of like a swim step on a boat type of thing.
Exactly. And we got backed up, and the foam blew off, and it blew all the steps up, and I fell down inside the hole. I was drilling an 18-inch diameter hole, and I fell down inside the hole.
Was it still drilling?
It was still drilling. Grabbed onto the drill pipe and was spinning around in a circle.
Oh my God!
As I'm sitting there, about my entire body's underneath the ground, but I'm 2 foot sticking up with my head up out of it, and I'm turning around in circles, relying on laborers or something to go over there and go push that button.
Hit that. See that emergency stop one?
Wow.
I mean, because the alternative was like you could have gone down a deep hole, right?
I would have died.
That's crazy, man.
Wow.
OSHA.
Yeah, don't tell them.
That was a long time ago. They were just getting started then. That's wild, though, because, safety's got to be a huge thing. And if sometimes we all get too complacent and comfortable with it, and that's when mistakes happen. Not that we're just being uncareful. It's just we get comfortable. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, man, I think that's why, we get broken bones and stuff, because every once in a while we just get comfortable thinking that we're a little bit too invincible than we are. Here's a broken bone. Slow down.
It's definitely a dangerous job. We've had my grandfather's missing his thumb, and this finger is welded in place.
Oh my god!
Kind of like that. Yeah. We have another guy that lost his pinky. We had a guy who broke both of his arms at the same time. It's not a safe job by any means, but it is safe if you make it safe.
Yeah, of course, right?
It's like with every job, kind of,
Well, you have to be able to learn as you go too, and improve things. And I mean, that's also the hard part, like new equipment too and stuff. Like it's a whole new safety learning curve and process, and it's designed to keep you safe. When the number one source of keeping you safe is your mind, your body, the human.
Yeah.
That is rad. What? So, I mean, what were some of the? I guess. I mean, you know a lot about what's underground from just going through and doing it your whole life? And what's like some of the most surprising things that we would know about Southern California that we wouldn't expect? I mean, is there a ton of water down below?
There's more water than you think. There's more water than what you're led to believe.
Right.
It is slowly declining over the last few decades. We are dropping off. If you just Google water wells in Southern California, all you're going to see is whatever Gavin Newsom wants you to see.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's going to say, we're drying up. We're drying up. The wells are going dry, blah, blah, blah. We're running out of water. 50% of California is reliant on water wells.
Really?
It's not,
Wow.
The aqueduct that was all that infrastructure that was to send water down to California.
Yeah.
That was meant for half of our population.
Wow. Okay.
And so all the water districts, all the people, everything is all reliant, or 50% reliant on water wells. And so, we are pulling from the aquifers a lot harder than we ever have. So of course you're going to see some sort of decline in it. Now, is that reason to throw up flags and say, we're
going to die. We're turning into the desert.
We're out of water.
We do live in a desert.
Yeah,
we do.
If we didn't live here, California would not be green. We make it green.
Yeah.
This is the desert leading from Arizona and Nevada.
sure.
This is the desert leading to the beach.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to have palm trees here. We're not supposed to have all this
Yeah.
lush
We put that
areas.
in.
Yeah, we put that in. We
water
that.
it. Yeah.
And so, we are declining a little bit in there, but all that means is drill deeper.
Yeah.
Let's go find some more water.
So is that majority what you guys do is wells, or what else do you do?
Most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's water wells. We also do monitoring wells to monitor how much water we have.
Okay.
Which is a moneymaker.
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
That works.
There's a lot of people concerned about how much water we have.
Yeah.
But we do that, and then cathodic protection. Cathodic protection is it's like a grounding rod for gas lines, and so you have SoCal Edison, and you have PG&E and SDG&E and everything down here that have their gas lines that run underneath the ground while they're corroding. Because of conductivity. And so we'll drill around all these gas lines and protect them. I've got a well we're doing in a couple of weeks for Plains All-American, big pipeline that runs natural gas and oil down to San Diego, and we're protecting those lines from being corroded and having any kind of electrical conductivity happening around them so they don't explode.
That's
There's a lot
crazy.
of different things that you drill for.
Yeah.
So going back to the water, like when you drill down, and we think like water underground. Are we talking like some ancient ocean or some like Colorado River running down there, or is it more like a sponge that's absorbed it and you have to like get out? Like, are there fish and dinosaurs down there in this ocean swimming around, or like what is it?
It's besides the fish and all that kind of stuff, it is kind of both. So it depends on where you're at. So right where we're sitting right now in Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario, you have the mountainsides that surround you. So where those two mountainsides meet, that's all bedrock. It's all granite. And so where we're sitting is filled like a bowl of soup or like a bowl of sand.
Yeah.
And all that stuff is washed down. And so inside that bowl of sand is just saturated with water. Everything that we get from rain, any of the waters or rivers that have ran into it, it's soaked into it. So you drill through a certain point, you'll just be making water. We also have, if I wanted to go up into the mountain ranges and drill, then we're drilling through granite. The only way you obtain water in granite is through fracturing. So where the rocks are cracked and water is traveling through those cracks.
Wow.
Wow. Like the size of it. I mean, so it's got to be pretty large for you to be able to. I mean, how do you hey, we're going to drill here and there's water there? I mean, do you have to drill a few times to do it, or is it just
again going back to where we're at? And so where we're at right now, there's just a depth. So it's a bowl that's full of sand, and there's water at a certain depth. And so that's what California is worried about, is that these basins is what we're sitting in right now. Those basins are slowly declining.
Going lower and lower.
They're slowly declining, and so you're having to go deeper and deeper. So that's pretty cut and dry. Is that there's a depth that there's water. When you get into the granite formations, then it's just how many fractures did we hit? Did we hit any? How much are they going to yield? You don't know. That's kind of a lot of guesswork.
But then from your experience of just, being like archaeologists come out and they'll probably, they went and studied all this stuff.
Hydrogeologists.
Is that what they're called? And they're going to tell you exactly where it's at, right? And you're like, no, I've done this before, and I've missed a few times, and I've learned that this is where it's going to be.
It's a little bit more, again, cowboy than that. This is Mother Earth, and it's what she's going to yield us. And so it is kind of a hit and miss kind of thing, but it's not that bad. Generally, any hole that you drill, you'll come up with water. Now, is that water enough to do what you're requiring? So if you're building a residence and you just need water for everyday usage, or are you an avocado grove? Are you a farmer? How much water are you going to get? So,
and that determines on how deep you go and where you're going.
Now with, say, average, Ranch Cucamonga, you're going to dig a well. How far down do you have to go?
I haven't drilled up here in a long time.
Or just say anywhere.
I would say on average, probably anywhere from 250 to 600 would do something in the residential area.
Yeah.
If you're going water district style, they're probably 1,500 or plus. Yeah.
To pull so much water out.
To pull enough water out. Yeah.
Now, are you allowed to in California? Like, I'm in, like a residential area. Got an HOA and stuff. Am I allowed?
At your house?
Yeah.
It'd probably be pretty hard at your house.
Yeah. You're allowed
only because of setbacks. You have so many setbacks off of sewer lines and septic systems.
Okay, so much stuff's down there already.
Drill. Well, no, it's contamination points.
Okay,
and so they won't. The county's requirements are so far off of so many.
Because you don't want to be like pulling up shit water then, because the sewer would just get a little close to some other stuff. So essentially, you're just like sitting there bathing in gray water.
Go for it.
Yeah, that's fine. You have a Brita filter, you're good.
Is this water down below? Is it clean?
It depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at. We've got areas down in Rancho Santa Fe by the La Jolla area. We do a lot of work down there. These are residences that usually have a couple acres to 3 or 5 acres, and they're just lush gardens and whatnot. But the water down there is brackish. It's horrible water. It's huge. It's high in salt, high in minerals, high in everything. Right. And so that stuff will absolutely just kill anything that it touches, and you don't want to drink it either.
Wow.
So another part of our business is filtration. And so we reverse osmosis. Okay. And so we build these large filtration units that filter that water. And at the end, they have Fiji drinking water, but it came from brackish water.
That's crazy.
Then there's other areas like my house, which is there in Menifee. Yeah. We went 1,800 feet on my well, and that water is better than bottled water. Really? And so it just depends on where you're at and what kind of formation you're going through.
So closer to the ocean, do you get more of a saltwater kind of?
Not necessarily, but it does tend to be that way. Yeah. What's happening is the formation that you're drilling through yields that kind of mineral that is causing that kind of stuff. So most of the areas though are closer to the ocean, but the ocean doesn't really have a whole lot to do with it. It has to do with formation. That's
crazy. Yeah. I figured the ocean would just be like almost seeping in. Yeah.
It's not really. There's a barrier down there that's holding it back.
Have you ever struck oil?
Wild. No, I've hit natural gas though, as we were hitting on earlier,
crazy.
And that was in San
Juan.
Do you
hear it? Do you hear like how does that work?
No,
or do you smell it?
You get the smell.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What happens at that point?
What do you do? Stop?
Cover the hole in. And don't tell anybody.
Do not call a gas company. Don't tell anyone. It's fine. Now, would you get in trouble for hitting gas?
No, you wouldn't, but
it's
there
still
would be
a lot of
certain
paperwork.
Avenues that you have to go through to make sure that
just make sure.
Yeah, it's not going to work out well for a water well. I
guess that's
your
right.
intended purpose was.
All right. Too much paperwork.
Yeah. That is rad.
I don't know who's all listening to this.
That's really damn cool, man.
So, if you were to calculate how many feet do you think or miles do you think you have drilled over your course? Like you personally,
that's almost impossible.
Do you think you've drilled enough holes where you could have gone through out the other side if you really wanted to?
Definitely.
Wow. Go all the way China, man. So how long does a job take? If you want to drill 1,500 feet, how long does it take to get 1,500 feet?
Probably about 10 working days.
So you're just cranking a little at a time.
Yeah.
How fast is that drill moving?
So it depends on the formation.
Okay.
Again, but if we're in granite and something that we'd be going 1,500 or 2,000 feet in, the boys can get on a good day 300 to 400 feet a day through
That's
granite
10 hours
with an 8-inch diameter hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you're at that 36-inch, I mean, that's got to be.
Well,
right.
that's usually that 36 inches is a lot shallower holes.
Okay, so you're not going super
they're
deep
going
on something like
200
that.
or 300 feet or 400 feet. I'm not the big boys. The big boys are Lane Christensen and whatnot.
Okay.
And those boys can go that deep. I don't have rigs that big.
Well, I was just gonna say, like the rig, like how big are these things got to be? I mean, are they multiple trucks at some times? I mean,
well, what I have, they're all mobile. They run on Peterbilt chassis. They weigh anywhere from 60,000 to 80,000 pounds running down the road. They're big. They have 50-foot derricks. And so when they stand up, they're tall. They're big machines. They weigh a lot. They've got a lot of horsepower. It takes a lot. And that's just one piece of equipment in the job. And so there's multiple trailers worth of mud equipment, support equipment, auxiliary air compressors, all that. I mean, at any time I've got $3 or $4 million worth of equipment sitting on one job site.
Dude, that's amazing.
wow. So you definitely want to get it done and off and to another job site.
Quickly.
There's no safe house things. You got to keep moving.
So for like,
turn to the right.
Yeah, just turn it right.
so for our youth and the younger kids, I mean, would you recommend them maybe exploring this type of trade?
Fuck no.
You're supposed to say yes. You need more people.
I mean, yes, it's great. No, it's hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you can make a very good living. You get paid well. I just hired a guy today, and during the interview, I was explaining to him it's not just drilling a hole in the ground. You got to wear very many hats. You're a welder. You're an equipment operator. You're a commercial driver. You're a carpenter. You're a mason. You're all these things because this job is not just drilling holes in the ground. You're constructing a hole in the ground. So you're installing casings. You're building pads. You're building pump houses. You're installing pumps. You're an electrician. You're everything you could possibly do.
So insane.
You could come work for me for a year or 2 years, then you could go out into any other trade and do anything because you've got experience doing this. Learning how to drill a hole in the ground is not as simple as just grabbing a shovel and digging a hole in the ground.
Now, how long does it take to set up a job site when you roll out there? Is it a day?
A day.
Okay.
Yeah,
a day to set up, and then say 10 days to pump it or to drill it, and then a day to tear down and out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in and out like that. And then a pump crew will come in and we'll either test pump the well, and we'll see how it reacts, test the aquifer, see how it's reacting, and then design a pump system and install a pump system. And I should have shut my phone off.
That's all right.
Mine's going off too, so it's all
You're fine. Yeah, mine too.
Install a pump system, install that, designed by the customer's requirements, and then any additional filtration. We also do solar.
Damn,
not that
dude.
pussy solar that goes on roofs.
That real
ground
solar.
mount solars, things like that. Yeah.
Do you guys make your own filtration systems?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's incredible.
So what do you think about drilling for oil and everything? You know, there's so many different things with politics and stuff. Do you think drilling for oil is the right way and the best thing for us for our environment and everything?
I mean, solar is amazing when it comes to our power requirements.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm a group text that's just going on.
I have to
Those
silence
probably
your
are
test.
Doom Bros.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, solar is amazing. That's come a long way. But ultimately, I mean, we have to stay with the fossil fuels. We can't go all completely electric.
No, it doesn't make sense.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense that what are we going to do? Cover the entire planet in solar fields?
Well,
We have to
exactly.
pull petroleum from the ground. It's there.
Yep.
It's being made by the earth.
Yeah.
It's not like we're depleting
No,
or
exactly,
ruining
yeah.
anything that we're doing. Maybe stop having people.
Yeah.
You know, that's our only
Well,
actual
I always
answer.
look at the solar farms that are out there. I'm like, that
They're
can't be
insane.
great for, you know, the Mother Earth and the nature and, you know, birds
poor
flying
birds,
by and just
man.
getting smoked instantly. And like it's kind of be disrupting, you know, human nature more than
I've always wondered that we start covering the planet in solar panels and bouncing the solar UV back up.
Right.
Well,
What are we doing to the
our ozone layer?
What are we doing to our global warming?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Making it
Well, because
worse.
we grew up in an era where we had a hole in the ozone and we were going to all die sooner or later if we didn't fix it with our smog days and stuff we'd have at
Yep.
school.
Smog days, no driving.
I was rolling into this area today, and I said I couldn't even see the mountain.
It must be a smog
Dude,
day.
it's crazy. Every other day is different. So wild.
That is bitching, man. So, how did you get into the boats? Was this something your family and the
Yeah, what
off-road
hobbies?
cars?
I mean,
Your
I was
hobbies?
always desert.
Yeah?
Always desert from the day I was born. Our family always did in Glamis and Ocotillo
Okay.
and whatnot, and that's the way I was when I hit 18 years old. 17, 18 years old, living on your own. I couldn't afford the toys,
Yeah.
and so that kind of quit for. So I took a hiatus from the desert, but I met my beautiful wife, Jody.
Nice drop.
She's rad.
That's awesome.
And she was more into the river season.
Okay.
And so we started going out there with her parents and whatnot, and I fell in love with that. That's
Yeah.
where I met all you guys.
Yeah.
I was out there at the river, met Jesse and
awesome.
and Marcus and,
Yeah.
and all of them out there. Got a place out there at the Beachcomber.
Yeah.
And, ended up
Good old
buying a couple-
beachcombers.
Buying a couple boats and doing that whole thing.
Bro, take your time, man.
You're good. We get it.
Customers.
Oh yeah, they
They
don't
want
stop.
water.
Yeah,
They
don't
don't want
stop.
water.
We're thirsty.
I know. I stopped answering my phone months ago. Months ago. If not, a year ago, I stopped answering my phone, sending everybody a voicemail.
He's that
and then
busy.
Pick through them, which
Yeah.
ones you
Oh,
want.
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Well, because you never know who's calling you anymore. It's usually someone
a
trying
lot
to
of it's
sell
spam.
you something,
Yeah.
car warranty or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's always spam. Dude.
Yeah, that was the best. The only car that I actually owned, I actually sold it, but it was a 1970 C10.
Oh,
So,
man.
everything else is through the business. And so
Yeah,
when
of
they're
course.
calling me about my extended car
like, that's
warranty, I'm like,
not-
fuck, that's a good warranty.
Yeah, it's a good
I've made it a
warranty.
long time.
70, yeah, C10.
No shit, man.
So you got in the river scene,
Yep.
and then
You had kids and everything too. Now that you would go to the lake and the river. I mean, now you kind of took a hiatus again from the river, huh?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with one of my daughters.
Yeah.
Lily. I'm sure she's going to watch this too.
Yeah, of course she is.
Lily, she's really big into travel softball.
Oh, rad.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes up 90% of our
dude,
life.
that's insane.
The work is like a second thing to travel softball. And
Yeah.
so it's really tough. She plays 7 days a week, if not 8.
Oh, it's
Dude,
wild.
unreal.
And so
Dedication.
This last year and a half of her growing into what she's doing now, and college recruiters are already talking to her. It's
How old is
crazy.
she?
She's 14.
Oh my gosh, already college recruiters?
She's got camps. She's got all kinds of things that she's doing, but
And you have to commit to
you
that.
have to commit.
Dude,
you have
that's
to commit.
exactly
She
when she's
loves it. I
that
mean,
good.
we're going to Havasu. I'm leaving to Havasu today, so I haven't
Really?
been in a year and a half. I'm going
Awesome.
today.
Good, man.
I'm going today, but go figure out if my batteries are dead in the boat.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they're on tenders. If not, get new ones.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, she's supposed to come with us, and she's not wanting to come with us because she has a practice and a game on Sunday.
gosh.
This is how dedicated she is.
I mean,
Dude, that
how,
is-
That's a whole podcast you guys should get into. Is the dedication of these
Dude,
girls, dude?
Well,
They're
it's
crazy.
nuts because, I mean, when we were younger, there was nothing I loved that much at these ages. And
Like,
it's,
yeah, I'll miss hockey to go to the freaking river. Let's go.
yeah, I'll miss everything.
Yeah.
Like, let's go to the desert. I
Yeah.
mean, my dedication was going to the desert and the lake. That was all I wanted to. But like, it's so awesome that you see it more often now that these younger kids are like, they know what they want already at a young age. And
That's
you have to
huge.
give them that opportunity.
They've got a path, and they're
Yep.
sticking to that path.
And
This
at
is
a
what I'm
young
gonna do.
age, figured it out. Like,
I was the same. I was a shithead. All I wanted to do was go to Glamis.
Oh,
All
yeah.
I wanted to do
Yeah,
was
and
do
you were
that
forced
and
to go to
skateboard
Go ride.
and-
Exactly.
yeah, and then you were forced to go to work, and that's kept you grounded. It kept you in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Same.
Yeah,
that's,
thank
what, that's
God.
what happened
Jody.
to me.
That and Jody, and yeah. Otherwise, I'd
That
be
grounds
dead
you, yeah.
on a dune somewhere.
It's funny how they change your life, right?
All right.
For the good. For the good.
But you, I mean, were you ever in sports when you were younger?
Yeah, I played baseball. I made it to about high school, and then skateboards took over. But
Same.
I'm still playing sports right now.
Really?
Tonight, I'm heading out to Havasu, but tonight I've got 3 games.
Really?
I'm playing softball. You know,
Dude, that's awesome.
I did the competitive thing. We flew around the country playing softball, and
Really?
It's not like beer league shit. It was
legit.
Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, real
You get
competitive.
yelled at if you drank. You know, that
Okay,
kind of
you're like,
thing.
damn.
I did that since I was, 27, 28, and I'm still doing it now.
Dude,
That's
awesome.
rad.
Yeah, always played sports. Always
Keeps
had to
you
play
young.
some sort of ball, and that's why
Yeah.
Lily was big into it. That's the daughter
Okay,
who's
of
doing
course.
Yeah.
softball, but that's probably where she got her genes from, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why she's so good.
she is.
I'll tell you what, man, that's a
All
saving, man.
dad.
Get that scholarship. Get that
Yeah.
scholarship.
Oh, shit. I should have just paid for a scholarship.
That's true. It'd been
by
cheaper
now,
than doing
dude.
it. Yeah, I know.
No,
And
we're
especially-
spending like 30 or 40 G's
A
a
year.
year
Wow.
on her playing ball. And I said, I thought this was going to start when you're like 16.
Yeah, now
That's all
all
right,
the new
man.
gear, all the new
Oh,
stuff.
Jesus.
Just
Yeah,
traveling.
don't get me started. Yeah.
It could go on forever.
Yeah, I mean, racing was the same way for us with Chance. You got him in young, and then it consumed a ton of our time, and we had to take a break here and there just to be
Yeah.
like, look, let's just go see what life's without racing. Like, let's go back to the the snowboarding, the lake, the desert, the golf, the beach, like all those other things that we like to do. It's tough, but I mean, it's
tough. Yeah,
but-
you gotta find time to do it. But in retrospect, like what's a weekend for Memorial compared to that you skipped Memorial but supported your kid through
Yeah.
what they wanted to do. Yeah, that's
and it's probably
important.
it's probably the most nerve-wracking thing you almost deal with is like when you go to one of their games or you're watching them and
geez.
like
Yeah.
it's stressful.
You should see my wife's Instagram, my daughter's Instagram. You hear my wife yelling and screaming.
It's rad because you get wrapped up in it too, and like you're their biggest fan.
You get
and
hyped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get hyped, man. It's so awesome.
It is so bitchin', man.
That is awesome. It's funny. My fiance, she's a volleyball coach for club and high school. If I get hyped up going to her games, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I don't know why I'm so hyped up. Like, they're not even my kids, but they're her kids, so she's all hyped up. So I get all hyped up on the competition.
You're
so
a
it's
fan
cool.
that you know.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
fan. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Well, that's the best thing of like almost all sports. You can like watch any sport out there, but if you're a fan of someone, you can
Dude,
get into it.
you get
and
into
get
it.
wrapped up.
It's
and
the
and
best
it's fun and
feeling,
exciting.
yeah.
It's
It's
like
the best
NASCAR
feeling.
racing. I haven't watched that shit forever, but it's like if you watch it now, it's like you don't know anyone that's really racing anymore. You're like, well, this is kind of stupid.
Yeah, when you don't follow,
When you
yeah,
don't
when
have
you
that
don't follow,
fan.
Yeah.
F1's where it's at.
That's what I watch too. And my DVR doesn't really work. It's hard to watch. And so whenever I'm up early in the morning on the weekends, I try to like
I love
click
it.
in
I
and
love
watch
waking up
it.
at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. on a Saturday to watch it, man. It gets me all hyped up.
That
I'm like,
Miami
yes.
race was actually pretty rad. That
It
was a good race
Yeah, it
and
was.
coming from behind.
Verstappen came way up in that one.
Yeah, dude. Crazy. Started, what, 14th or something like that?
It was 9th or was it
He was-
14th?
he was
might
back
have
there
been-
pretty
I think
far.
it might have been 9th.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe it was 9th.
ninth.
Yeah, he was pretty far back there, man.
You don't usually
he came up so fast,
That's
too.
the only downfall of F1 is you don't usually see that much movement forward.
You don't.
Right?
That's the only thing. Usually it's like a place or two, but no, it was good.
I can't
Not
watch.
Verstappen, dude. He's
insane.
going. Put him at the back. Dude.
I know,
He
he's
can't
fine.
get
He'll
up
still be
there
fine.
somehow.
Well, that's how Lewis used to be too, though, man.
Yeah.
Hamilton used to be the exact same way, just crush everything. And then Lewis still is an insane driver, though. He's still gnarly. Even with a car that's not great right now, he's still crushing it. It's crazy. It's pretty.
It's
pretty
wild
amazing.
how expensive those cars are, and what like the budget cap is on those teams.
That's why it's all fair now. I don't understand why Red Bull is doing so good. I don't
Yeah.
see how
They just have
Verstappen
they have
is
something
that
figured
much
out.
better.
Yeah.
But when they're talking, you're 1.4 seconds out of someone, and you're talking, I'll get him in 8 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're just making up a point of
Every
a second,
time.
or a point of a second, or a point over a second.
So wild.
It's a tenth. Well, I mean, I've always like when Chance was racing, I'm like,
tenth, sorry.
don't focus on your lap time of being a second or two off.
Yeah.
Focus on a tenth in this turn, a tenth in this turn.
'Cause you
and a
have 10
tenth-
more laps to get everything, yeah.
Just those little bits, then it adds up to one. But like even like Perez, no, was it Perez?
Yeah. When he was
in the
leading.
Red Bull car. Just got worked and gapped by Verstappen.
Well, 'cause
too, dude.
his-
on
so-
old tires. in
I
that
know,
race.
Verstappen- yeah.
on old tires.
Verstappen had a better pit plan ultimately. I mean, it just worked out that way.
It worked out.
It worked out for
Yeah.
him so much better that way.
What do you think about Indy? I just can't get over the look of the cars. I think they look so stupid, and then they're always.
So I'm starting to get really into Indy now. Like the past 2 or 3 years, we got to go around and film Indy 500 last year, which was amazing. And before that, we went to a bunch of different shops for PRI. So like it was really cool. I started getting into it to meet everyone and know everybody. So it's like seeing Erickson. We interviewed Erickson before he was really anyone.
Okay.
Like when he first got on Ganassi team, which was great, and then he goes out and wins Indy 500 last year. So it was sick, you know. And same thing with like Ross Chastain from NASCAR. We interviewed him. He wasn't even a driver yet. I mean, he was filling in here and there. He was like a backup driver, and now he's out there crushing it, winning all these races. Now he's like the most hated driver in NASCAR because everyone hates him because he's wrecking them and this and that. But it's just funny. Like, it's cool to see all these guys that we got to go out and interview and talk with and film with. And now they're all doing really, really cool things. So, I don't know. I've started getting into Indy racing.
Do you watch
more
Indy
this
at
past
all?
year.
Not much.
Well, there's this Roman.
I gotta drill holes in the ground.
Yeah, I gotta work.
I got travel softball, F1,
River.
Angels.
You're like, I'm maxed out.
I'm maxed out.
That's all I got. No more time.
Well, that's rad, man. Well, I mean, thanks for all this. I mean, input and information on the, what's going on out there drilling. I had no
Dude, it's
idea
so
there was
cool.
still even drilling going on out here. I thought for sure it'd be like illegal to drill a hole in your backyard.
They're trying
like
to make
5
it that
feet.
way.
Like,
They're
Sure to try, yeah.
Yep.
and I mean, is it because they want to be able to control it? You think?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, California has been trying to do that forever, for decades upon decades. Is tax our water, and so what that is in essence is taking your mineral rights away from you. When you buy a piece of property, you get a deed. You have your mineral rights.
Yeah.
Unless they've been deeded away for some reason by a developer or a water district or something like that. But they're in essence trying to take your mineral rights from you and now charge you for the water that you're pulling out from the ground that you own. And so they've been trying to do that forever. But
And then they're going to tax every single person that touches it all the way along the way.
Yeah. We got enough idiots in this state that will vote the wrong people in place and get that shit passed. And then
So wrong.
It's just the way it is. We're moving that way.
Yay,
And so
California.
just pushing us away.
You ever
further
see
and
yourself
further.
moving out of California?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I'd hate to leave California. I've lived here my entire life.
Same.
You know, born in Escondido, moved to Valley Center, lived in San Diego for a while, met my wife, and moved up to Temecula. I mean, I've been here my entire life. A lot of my family has moved away.
Really?
All of our employees and friends and everybody's leaving. Mass exodus. There's just a lot of money to still be made here.
Yeah,
That's
there
why I'm
is.
still
Yeah.
here. But
Now, could you move the business to a different state? It'd be hard, right?
Yeah, I could do it. It would be hard.
There'd be a slow time just to get it ramped back up.
Yeah, and you're not fitting in, and you're known as someone who's an exodus of California, and so people won't necessarily pick you.
Yeah.
Because I started a company in Texas. This was during pre-COVID. I started another drilling company in Texas, and I was moving all my non-carb compliant equipment that I had to sell.
Smart,
I was going to move it out to Texas.
That's a
where I
great
could run-
idea.
I mean, I can go over here and run it. Why can't I run it here?
Yeah.
But regardless, I was going to do that. Then COVID hit, and I didn't know where the world was going. Nobody did. I didn't know if this was real or not, at the time it hit. And I kind of put the brakes on that and didn't do it. But when I got there in Texas and I was talking to the city council members and whatnot and proposing a business plan and all that kind of stuff. And as soon as they found out I was from California, I was kind of getting shut out. It was like, oh, we know what you're doing, kind of stuff, and come in here and try to screw up our city or our town and whatnot. And so it was going to be tough regardless, but I don't know. I'm more on the avenue of let's stick it out. Let's figure out what California is all about.
Yeah.
Let's see how bad it can get.
Yeah.
And sell it. And,
Yeah.
go
That works
retire
too.
somewhere.
Yeah, that works too.
Where would you go? Would you go to Texas, you think?
No, Texas is
can't-
it's too hot and too humid.
Yeah.
It is.
nasty.
It's so flat and it's all.
I've been in California my entire life. I gotta go somewhere else. than that. I
and there's
know.
nowhere else like
I know.
it.
And it's always been Arizona. Arizona was the place to go,
Same.
like
Yeah.
Sedona or places like that. But now they're starting to follow suit of California.
Yeah.
Arizona is just so crazy. You never thought they would.
Ensenada.
Ensenada, there you go. That's what I'm thinking. Just sell it all and open a bar and
Exactly.
Ensenada or some
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah, there's great weather.
Yep.
Lots of tacos.
Beautiful weather. And tacos and beer.
Sounds like a dream.
I only
Let's
need like
go.
$100,000 and I can retire.
Tacos and beer, man. And
That's the
count
deal,
me in.
though.
That's badass, man. Well, thanks, dude.
This is
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
Thanks for coming on. If people want to find out more information about the business, where do they go?
FainDrilling.com.
Cool.
You can hit me up there. You'll probably end up talking to my wife through there. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
We should have brought your wife on with you.
Oh, that would have been
She's
great.
the real boss. Yeah. She's been talking shit the whole time, probably.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
Wait, can she back out a boat trailer?
Yes, she can, but she won't.
Will Rosie?
No, she doesn't even want to learn.
Chelsea's done it a couple times, and she doesn't want to do it, though. She's like, it's just too much pressure. I'm like,
You're like, yeah, do you know how much pressure it is trying to do it by yourself?
yeah, exactly.
Let me keep this runing. You hold on to this while I go run
Thank
all the way
you.
up there and go get the trailer and come bring it back.
So she
drunk.
will,
exactly.
she'll pull the boat or the truck out of the water once I pull the boat off, which is cool.
Yeah.
That helps at least half the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
But going to go get it and bring it back down and then put the boat on just sucks.
It does. I mean, I'd be interested
At
in
least you have
electric. I'd be interested in electric cars if they could,
do it for
like
you.
remote control it or something and back it down for you. Like you
Like for the gangster.
retrieve it from its spot and say, hey, come put it in this spot right here.
Yeah,
There
but
we
you guys have
go.
private-
I'd be down with that.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Come on, Elon.
We need some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, you would see divorces just decline by doing that.
That wouldn't be fun though. At the afternoon at the boat docks.
Well,
and
nobody
watching
would-
all
that's no
watching
fun.
all the families
Yeah.
argue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fighting everything.
nobody would get any more enjoyment
Father.
at Site 6 anymore.
Oh, man. What a mess. I mean, Site 6, those people wouldn't have it, so it's fine.
Right. Well, I mean, the electric car, if it went back too deep, I'm sure the water wouldn't work well with the batteries.
That's for darn sure.
We'll find out this season when all those Ford
those
trucks.
Eco, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The,
No,
yeah.
the
When they start
F-150s.
backing
Wow.
boats in. Watch when
I
one
am
of those hits the
curious.
water.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes, that'd be gnarly, huh?
I wonder what would happen.
We'll see.
Would it electrocute the water or what?
No, the batteries
it
just started imploding like RC car batteries,
Oh,
the
yeah?
lithium batteries. They implode and they start
it starts
smoking,
smoking?
and they will catch on fire in water. Like I think like the only way to
put 'em
really
out.
the
Just gotta
only
let
way
'em
to like
burn.
diffuse it is like salt water or something. You have to like drop
That's
them and
wild.
soak them in salt water, and it like I don't know kills all the cells. I mean,
Like Elon on here.
I'm no
talked about
Elon.
I run diesel.
it. Forever. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, bro.
Yep. Thank
See ya.
you.
Whoa. Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got 'em picking up the pieces.